to 305 Live, clinic number 11. We're doing shooting and faking without a goal today, all right? So as you can see, I have a wall here. I don't have a goal, and I put stickers on the wall. So I have stickers in 5 different spots, actually. There's one here and one there for the top corners. Then I have one on each bottom corner, and I actually have one right here on the off-stick side of the goalie. So pretending that we have a goalie in cage, all right, and their off-stick hip side is also a really good place to shoot. This is a hard place for them to save a shot, so that's a great place to practice also, okay? I really like to number my corners, so you'll hear me refer to these corners as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So that means if I'm in the goal that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the bottom corner, and then 5 is this one off. You can put that 5th one in different places. If you don't have stickers, you can, most walls, or if you just go and buy a slab of wood from Home Depot or something like that and use that, put stickers on it or just draw on it with marker. You can put all kinds of targets on there, and you don't need a goal. The thing you do need is Swax Lax balls, okay? So if you're gonna shoot at something that's a hard surface, you're gonna wanna get Swax Lax balls. These are my 3 favorite designs. They're super cool. We got American flag, and we got tie-dye, checker. They have tons of awesome ones on their website, but these are the same size and weight as a regular ball, but they don't bounce. So I can chuck this at the wall, and it's not gonna come flying back in my face. It'll bounce off a little bit, and it'll trickle back to me, and then I can pick it up and shoot it again. So right now, you can get these for $5 off, just a $15 order. They're normally $10 each. Right now you can get 2 for $15, okay? So go check this out. It's a great investment if you don't have the opportunity to buy yourself a goal. This is a great option. To get started, the first thing, I'm gonna use my American flag ball here. I really like this one. The first thing we're going to go over is faking, okay? So you can actually do this without any ball. The faking is really just a motion that we want to get used to, and then obviously when you're practicing your release and your aim, you will need a ball for that. But first, whether you have a ball or not, we can work on the motion of faking. The most common probably fake would be a hitch fake, and probably the easiest to master. So what you want to make sure you do is that you're using your wrist and your arm, kind of rotating at my shoulder and at my wrist, and going like this. So first you just want to practice this motion, okay? So you can stand here, you can stand in front of a mirror, in front of your phone, and videotape yourself doing it, and make sure it looks something like this, all right? So we're just practicing turning at our wrist, make sure we're holding the stick in the sweet spot of our hand, not with our whole fist like this, all right? And we're just practicing this motion. Once you get this down, you can then add little nuances to it and add more body language that's deceptive for a goalie, right? So that means your eyes, your shoulders, what your body's doing in general. So that means I can look up this way if I want to be shooting down that way, and I can move my shoulders that way. So that would look like this, right? I'm kind of just doing a little fake that way, maybe a fake that way, a fake that way. So you can practice faking at different angles. One little tip for the shoulder part of it, you can imagine that maybe you have a string attached to your shoulder right here and somebody's yanking it forward. And again, it's just a little subtle movement. It doesn't need to be big movements. Usually subtle and believable is what a goalie is gonna fall for, not some big fake like this. Because also, if you're throwing this big stick fake and your stick comes all the way out in front of you, now you have to bring your stick all the way back. By the time you bring your stick all the way back and then get a shot off, the goalie's reset, so the fake didn't really work, right? So that's why we want to make sure that our fakes are little, subtle, and believable, okay? So again, we're going to make sure that we're using our body language as a whole rather than just our stick. So after we get this down, I'm going to run up to the camera and I'm going to fake, okay? So if you guys want to do this at home without a ball, even just in your room, you can set up the camera on something in front of yourself just like it is on me right now. Videotape yourself, come at the phone and pretend that your phone is the goalie, and then when you're watching it back, you can see what it would look like if the goalie's watching you come at them, and then you can re-watch it and think, okay, that fake looked believable. It really did look like I was going to put the ball there, and then I went this way. So without a ball, you can do this. You can just run up to a camera and go here, right? When we get to shooting, and I'll do this in a second, the follow through is all in your wrist, okay? It's all in the wrist with these inside shots, right? We're not practicing right now these big time in room shots. You can do that as well. But right now with these little inside fakes, we're gonna pretend that we're inside the 8 and we have a lot of defenders around us and we're just trying to get a quick shot off. So that means it's really, really all in your wrist. Okay, so as we're running up to the camera, we're gonna fake shoot, okay? And then you can watch it back. Did your eyes look that way? Did your shoulders, did your body? And then I snap down at the last second. Okay, so you can try that. When we start moving on to the actual shot, that's when you're gonna need a ball and a wall and some targets. I'm gonna move you guys back a little bit. So remember I said we have our numbered corners here. When I run up, I'm gonna work on my faking and then shooting. So if I first want to just work on the shot without the fake, I can get a bunch of reps in. I can just run up to the goal and shoot at the spot. Okay, and pick up another ball and do the same thing. We can practice just standing first. We can just stand here, set up, get a nice setup shot, and work on our aim. Gonna go, right? And then this Swax Lax ball comes right back to me. Here, follow through, okay? Then you can practice it on the run. It becomes a little harder to aim when you're running, but we can try that. Right? Pick up a new ball. Now I'll go for the bottom corner. Okay? When we're shooting low, you want to make sure that you're not, or high, you want to make sure that you're not really shooting sidearm. It's easier to aim, and there's a smaller margin for error if you're shooting overhand. So you really want to try and shoot overhand, hold down, and that's you'll have a more chance of being accurate if you're shooting overhand as opposed to sidearm. It's harder to do. Okay, so the next thing is if we then want to practice faking with our numbered corners, I like to fake at one number and shoot at the other. So let's say one of my first go-to ones is fake at 2 and shoot at 4. That means we're faking at the high left corner in our case, and that's where the goalie's stick would typically be if they're a right-handed goalie. So if a goalie's standing like this, we're gonna fake at this spot. This is spot 2, and then we're gonna shoot at spot 4, this bottom opposite low corner. So I'll say to myself, all right, 2-4. So we're gonna do that. 2-4. Okay, and then the next one, I can try a different combination. Maybe we go 2-3, high left to high right. We go 2. Okay, and then you can practice a bunch of different combinations over and over. So let's say this time we want to go 1-3. So 1 is a low fake, in which case this is kind of a hard thing to do. It takes a lot of practice, but you can dip your shoulder a little bit. You can dip your stick as long as there's no defenders around you. You want to make sure that you do have some space around you if you're going to dip your stick. But you can also just try and dip your shoulder. If you are not dipping your stick, you can keep it in front of you. So we'll run up here. We'll kind of dip our shoulder, dip our stick, and then come up and shoot in that top right corner. So I'll do that again a little faster. Okay. Make sure that we are being quick, but we don't hurry. So if you guys have heard that term before, that saying before, it means that you have to move quick because things are happening. The game moves quick. But if you're rushing it, if you're hurrying, then you're more likely to make a mistake. So it's important to be quick, but keep your fundamentals. Make sure we're doing it the right way, and practice it slow a bunch of times. Make sure you're doing it right, and then get faster, and gain speed, and then and progress from there. And then you can add dodging into it. You can add combination dodges before you shoot. So all those things are more things to think about, and it becomes a little bit harder to end up finishing the shot because maybe your mind's still thinking about the dodge where you're going to shoot. So work on those things one at a time, and then put it all together and practice it at speed, and then you'll be more likely to be able to execute in a game. So if I'm going to practice dodging here, I don't have a ton of space, but let's say I do a quick dodge to my left, and then I shoot at spot 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. All right? So, or if I start in my left, I'm going to go dodge, shot. Work on switching your hands at the last second and still getting a good shot off with good aim and accuracy. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. How to fake safely without getting checked from behind. Well, you can keep it in front of your face. You don't have to have your stick behind you. You can still have your stick a little bit more forward and do those same fakes with your stick more in front of your shoulder rather than behind it. Does Swax have any other products? Yes, they do. They have Swax Lax Power Weight. So this goes right on your stick. It's maybe a pound or two. It adds some weight to your stick. So that way, when you're practicing anything with stick work, whether that's shooting, wall ball, whatever, it helps you get stronger in your wrist and your forearm. So that's a great product to have. All right, I hope you didn't just hear me cursing at the phone because I was. My husband is calling me and it keeps messing it up, and somebody needs to tell him to stop calling me right now. Yeah, I think that's it. So good luck, guys. Thanks for joining.